Morning, Twin Pyramid. How you doing? All right. In the name of our ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what we call the Reality Stamp on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper, host of this program, known here on social media. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the Mate, 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 uh, Angel Snub number 7. I am your soul brother, number 1. Okay. Thank you, deacons, for joining me this morning. Really couldn't sleep, so I decided to give a short commentary on this conversation that's going on Facebook. And the conversation that's going on Facebook is, or it comes from, various African people, and they are trying to come together to try to talk to their people, those on the continent, trying to get them or turn them away from European religious teachings, European influence. And what made me want to come and speak about this was that they're trying to tell their people who believe in Jesus and other European religion and other foreign religions, these various African people, and we use the term or the identity or the label African. African is a relative term, because when you say African, this could also include Caucasian people who have settled on the continent. They are Africans. Any Caucasian person that is born on the continent is an African. So we need to make very clear it is not about them. It is about melanated, dark-skinned, the original inhabitants who can trace their ancestry on that continent for thousands of years. This is who we're talking about. We're talking about Africans who were colonized, those who were conquered by, oppressed by Europeans. We're talking about this category. And it wasn't just one group of Africans. It was almost the whole continent, I believe they say, except Ethiopia. Ethiopia was the only country that I know of that I know. I can't talk about what I don't know. I heard that Ethiopia was the only one. And actually, when you look at Ethiopia, even though they weren't physically conquered by Europeans, even when you look at Ethiopia, you can still see that the European influence is still there. They still was affected by what happened on the continent. It's very difficult. I guess you could look at it this way. The body can get shot and the heart may not get hit, and the eye might not get hit, and your left hand might not get hit, but whatever damages the body by the gunshot, it still affects the whole body. So even though Ethiopia, because that's a, how can you not be affected when over what? Over 90% of the continent was taken over. It's very difficult for you to be in a position, even though the Europeans failed to conquer your country, you still are affected because the whole continent was conquered by European invaders. And they only began to get their sovereignty back, their freedom back, in the late 1950s. 1950s. Here you are, you've been free. Here you've been doing your own thing for thousands of years. And now an invader comes in, and you have lived a certain life under their rule, and now you have to try to get out. What they have done to you is cause you to flip on yourself. And the children and those who were born under colonialization have no idea and don't care. The African and the so-called Black American, whatever we want to call ourselves, we haven't gotten to the point where we actually come together as a people and say this is who we are, because contrary to popular belief, there are some black people that still call themselves colored people because that's what they know. That's how they grew up. They was colored people. There are some black people alive that still view themselves as Negro. I've heard them. Some of them even make videos. They call themselves Negro. They call themselves colored people even to this day. They don't refer to themselves as black or African American or none of this. So, so what has happened to the Black American, what has happened to the African, we share similar circumstance. We share a common problem, trying to return or trying to find ourselves. So there's a movement on Facebook and probably YouTube, social media in general. Africans are trying to talk to their people, regardless to the nation. They're trying to talk to those who are descendants of a people who have lived on that continent for thousands of years. They are trying to tell their people, we need to let go of European influence. We need to let go of European religious or spiritual systems or beliefs. And what made me want to talk about this, not only because I couldn't really sleep, but I saw a meme that someone put up, and the message is not to Black Americans. The message is to other Africans. These are African people talking to Africans. They're not targeting Black Americans. They are telling Africans that God did not just come to white people. They should embrace African spirituality as God came to the African. God come to the black man in Africa. Before the invaders, before these foreigners showed up, you had your own religion or you had your own African spirituality. I would say that African spirituality is also a relative term because on the continent there are numerous, just like the people, there are numerous. All Africans are not the same. You can say what you want to. They are not the same. To say I'm an African, they're not the same. Except they live on this continent. That's the only thing that makes them the same. Other than that, there are numerous languages. They view themselves differently. They are not the same. Similarities, they are not the same. Even physically, they are not the same. You can go on Google and do a simple Google search and put African people. You will see they are not the same. Numerous religious belief systems, physical features, they are not. Various tribes. There are over 50 nations in Africa. They are not the same. You are doing Africa. Many of these Pan-Africans are doing Africa a serious injustice because Africa is diverse. It is not a clone. It is different. The continent is different. It is not the same. There are those trying to put Africa in this one bundle. There are those who are trying to put Black Americans in one bundle. You cannot do it. They are not the same. Europeans are not the same. They would tell you that. They're not the same. World War II was a war, and World War I and whatever these wars these Europeans have. They went to war because they are different. They are not the same. They are not the same. The Africans are trying to tell other Africans, give them their Jesus back. Give them their religion back. Embrace your religion that your ancestors had. And they call it, relatively speaking, because this is a relative, African spirituality. Whatever, embrace something. But you have a problem. You have a problem because many of these new African people, it is all they know. So you have the same problem that the Black American have, is that this is all we know. A very simple example is, I want you to put yourself in these shoes. You are a baby. We are born knowing nothing. And you are born in Leavenworth prison. That's all you know. You've never been to the outside world. You don't know nothing about it. All you know is prison life, jail life. So somebody come to you talk about, you should fight for your freedom and get out of here. They'll look at you crazy as hell because Leavenworth prison is all they know. So you're talking to African people, you're talking to Black Americans when this is all they know. And you get angry and upset. You should be happy. You should call yourself, as they say in religion, you are blessed to have a mind outside so that you can see a life outside of incarceration, outside of the poison of the invader, outside of the poison of the foreigner. You should be happy that you're able to do that. But unfortunately for the vast majority, this is their life. And you get angry and you get upset and you call them deaf, dumb, and blind. How are they going to be deaf, dumb, and blind to something that they have no knowledge of? They don't have that experience. Then there are those, and we call it being institutionalized. Apartheid in South Africa was a form of institutionalization, being institutionalized, because many of those peoples, many of them knew what it was before apartheid, but this is their life now. Just like when you go to jail, and you can go to jail and be there for 15, 20 years, 30 years, whatever, and you get out, you come out into a strange world, because the life of incarceration, you're institutionalized now. And I can speak from my own experience, being incarcerated 10 years, I would tell you, quite honestly, and I confess, I was afraid to get free. Actually, because I had been incarcerated for so long, I was afraid to come back into the new world. Well, the old world. I was actually afraid. I wanted to get out, but then at the same time, I didn't want to get out. And see, this is something that many really don't want to confess to. You want freedom, justice, and equality. You want independence from the white man, so you claim. But at the same time, you really are afraid, because once you leave, like the judge told me, and the judge made it very clear, sir, if I let you out of here, I want you to understand something. We're not going to help you. You're on your own. We're not going to do nothing for you. We're not going to give you any kind of assistance at all. And the judge made that very clear to me, because that place wanted me to stay longer, and they just don't throw you out of those places. They try to set you up in housing and help you get a job and things of that nature. But since you're hard-headed and you want to be a runaway slave and you don't want to submit, okay, and you done fought so hard, okay, we're going to go ahead and let you go, but we're not going to do a damn thing for you. And the judge made it very clear. And this is something that they really don't like talking about. The reality of being independent. When you're independent, that means you get no help from nobody. You're on your own. You can't blame the white man no more. You are on your own. And so you have those who have accepted this way of life given to us by enslavers and conquerors, and those who colonized our continent. Because really this is all that we know. And even if you know better, like the case of apartheid or being incarcerated, there's a fear. You want to be free. You want to be free because you were free at one time. I was free at one time. So what made me want to be free is because I knew I knew life before incarceration. So that what really drove me to fight for my freedom, because I knew what it was. But what if I was born in prison? I was born in jail, and that's all I know. So for many in Africa, Jesus is all they know. These countries in Africa, the national language is European. They don't know nothing about being themselves. They have been Europeanized. They were born in this, and that's all they know. And here you are, and sometimes I understand why you get frustrated because you know better, but you don't try to understand everybody is not like you. And you make things worse because you make mockery of them because they're caught in the web, they're caught in the matrix, they're caught in the trap. And you get angry and frustrated and you call people names and Sambo and Coon and I don't know what Africans call each other. I don't know what words they use for Africans who believe in Jesus and Allah and all these. These are the religions of the conquerors, the invaders. There was no Islam before the invader. There was no Christianity before the invader. These are not African religions. And they know this. And the sad thing about it is many African people, they know this. They know these religions, but it's all they know. But it's all they know. Living this way. And they begin to believe. Calling people names is not going to change anything. So you won't hear me calling people names because I know they just don't know. They're working with what they were given. Even though we know better, they can't help it. You should be happy when some of them come up out of the matrix. You can't force nobody. And this is what many folks don't understand. I don't care about 2 people, 10 people listening to the Reality's Temple on Earth internet ministry because I know. I'm not upset. I don't get frustrated. None of those things because I understand the people. But I do understand that there are many of us, we're not so caught up that when the word comes down, we don't recognize it. Some of you think because you are Pan-African, you're talking all that blackity black stuff, that you are better than others, and you're not. Because the only thing you've done is adopt another version of what they gave you. You haven't broken out of the matrix. You're the same as they are, except you're chocolate covered. But the point I want to make here on this video is that Africans are trying to tell Africans to stop demonizing African spirituality as the European has taken or made African spirituality like it's of the devil and it's evil and it's wicked. But that's the belief systems of your ancestors. And Africans should return to their own religion, spiritual system, African spirituality. That God didn't only come to Caucasian people or the white man. Your ancestors had God before the Europeans invaded the continent. So I'm like, well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So how am I wrong? How am I in error if you, African, will tell me that I'm some African born in the United States and I should also embrace African spirituality? You're going to say that God, excuse me, that God didn't only come to the white man. How am I in error to tell you and the white man, why can't I say, why can't God come to the black man and woman in America, soul brothers and sisters in this country? Why I got to embrace African spirituality? I don't have no idea what the hell that is. And of course, we know that Jesus is bogus, and we know that Islam is bogus, and we know all this religious stuff from these we got from foreigners. All that's bogus. We know this. That's y'all stuff. You claim that the gods or whatever you talk to God came to you. Why I got to embrace the God that came to you? Why God can't come to us, the black man and woman in America? Why we got to have your hand-me-downs and you tell us how to worship God? God can come to us just like God came to you. Why we have to embrace y'all crap? And then you tell us how it's supposed to be done. Oh, the proper name of God is such and such, and this is how you worship God. You want to tell me a damn thing? I can talk to God myself. We don't need you. So why is it wrong for Europeans to give you their God, and you talk about we don't need that God? God didn't only come to the white man. God came to the African. Well, then God can also come to the black American unless God don't exist. And see, the thing about soul brothers and sisters, the black Americans in this country, we're gullible and naive to anybody. We're just a pool of people that anybody can use. We were used physically as slave labor for hundreds of years, and nothing has changed. Nobody has any respect for us. We're just a pool of people because they see that we don't have nothing. So we come up to slave plantations and we believe we don't have nothing, and others see us as something to use. Our money, our bodies, our minds, because we are people that we believe we don't have any culture. We just don't serve no purpose unless we're serving and submitting to somebody else. So of course, we are dark-skinned Europeans. I used to use the term or the identity dark-skinned Europeans because that is what we are. Whether you like it or not, and you can holler and scream and whatever you want to, because that's all we know. We were raised by them. We don't know any other cultures. We don't know any other way of life except what our slave masters living here under the rule of these people for hundreds of years. That's all that we know and will ever know. The Africans have an alternative that they don't want because they really don't know either. They have the same problem. The bottom line is all this garbage is out of date. It's not applicable. The bottom line is all religion, all spirituality is a bunch of bull doo-doo anyway. It don't make no difference if it's African. It makes no difference. None of these gods have helped nobody. They are at war right now in Ukraine. Ukraine and Russia. I'm very sure they believe in God in Ukraine. I'm pretty sure they believe in God in Russia. Both of them are not relying on God. Both of them send me some bombs, send me some planes, send me some tanks. Ain't none of them. You'll never see no, not even a soundbite where they talk about God help us or whatever. What's that president? What's his name? Zelensky, whatever his name. He's not asking the United States, God bless us. He's asking the United States, send us some weapons. Because that's the reality. If your God exists, sit back in the cut and let your God defend you. They know that religion and spirituality is bogus. There's no, in recorded history that I know of, there's no leader of no nation that fear God. None of them. Matter of fact, when you look at the Bible and Quran, it's nothing but about rebellion against God. They don't care about God like that. That's why God said, that's why God has to force them and threaten, because the people, I'm not doing that. And see, what we have to understand is that it's unnatural for us to serve. See, look, a lion only serves a lion. Lions don't serve hyenas. Hyenas don't serve lions. Dogs don't serve cats. Cats don't. It's unnatural for us to bow down and talk about serving outside of ourselves. Now, you got some dogs, you throw a stick and they'll go get it and bring it back to you. Some dogs, you throw a stick and they keep it for themselves. I ain't doing all that work. You want to go, you go get your own damn stick. I'm not bringing that to you. This is my stick. It is unnatural for you to want to serve and submit for the benefits of something outside of yourself. A man goes to work for his family. He does not go to work and go to his next door neighbor and say, I just went to work and spent 40 hours a week to give my paycheck to my next door neighbors. He goes to get his check and bring it to his family. Birds go out from the nest and bring worms and insects to their family. They don't feed the birds next door. It is unnatural. So this is why slavery is unnatural, because that's force. Because it is not nature, it's not natural for you to want to serve for the benefit of something outside of yourself. It's unnatural. So they want us to believe in the God, and usually the reason why you want to believe in God is through fear. That's how slavery was practiced. They use fear of death, fear of pain and punishment. If you did not use pain and punishment, you could not get anybody to be a slave. And this God operates the same way. You don't love God because God ain't did a damn thing for you. That's the reality of it. You love God because you've been told these stories of the pain and the hurt, the ass whooping God is going to give you if you don't obey. Show me in the Bible and Quran. Show me in the Bible and Quran. I'm gonna do a Dr. Umar Johnson. He likes to repeat himself. Show me in the Bible and the Quran the beautiful behavior of Allah or God. It's always I'm going to kick your ass if you don't obey. What presence? Show where this God takes somebody in his arms and kiss them and hold them and give you something. Show me this loving God. Where are the verses of the loving God? I see lots of verses where God threatened you with punishment, kick your ass, burn you up. He created your lifestyle because God created everything and God is perfect. Well, God created homosexuality, but then he's going to punish homosexuals for their behavior or those who practice that, because I don't know why they keep getting on homosexuals, gay people's case when so-called heterosexuals do the same stuff. It's called sodomy, people. And sodomy is supposed to be the reason of why this God is so angry with homosexual people. But y'all in the bedroom, you're doing the same damn thing. And y'all switching partners and all kinds of freaky stuff. The transgenders and the gay people. And the heterosexuals too, because you're just as foul and nasty as they are. Sodomy is not sex. There's only one sex. Sexual intercourse. The penis intercourse with the vagina. That's the only sexual intercourse. Playing with people's penis with your mouth and anus and all that other freaky stuff that y'all do, that's sodomy. That's where the word sodomy comes from the biblical story of Sodom and Gomorrah. And they also have a disease that you can pass around, and the sound of that disease is almost like Gomorrah, gonorrhea. And a lot of us don't know because we don't keep it with, because we're having fun. But these sexual diseases, people was worried about COVID, but these sexual diseases on the rise. I heard on the news that these sexual diseases are on the rise, especially among, unfortunately, the gay community, bisexuals, transgenders, or whatever. They are spreading gonorrhea, chlamydia, and all these syphilis and all these old school diseases. But again, if God can come to the African, if God can come to the white man, and God came to the Asian people, then God should be able to come to the black man and woman, soul brothers and sisters in this nation. We don't need Allah. We don't need your Jesus. We can talk and communicate straight to God. And then another thing, you claim that we're all children of God. Well, how come God only talked to you? How would you like to grow up in your house and your parents only talk to certain siblings and don't say nothing to you? You just there. And your mama and your daddy in the house, but you got to get your orders. You got to talk to one of your brothers and sisters who's your parents' favorite to get instructions. And so that's the way we're all of us supposed to be children of God, but only the Pope and these so-called divine people, they the only ones getting all these instructions. God don't say a damn thing to us. What kind of crap is that? Again, like living in the house, and I can't talk to mama, I can't talk to daddy straight up. I gotta talk to my little brother John, big sister Khadijah, or whoever. That don't make any sense. If God can talk to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, if God can talk to T.D. Jakes, if God can talk to Joel Einstein or whatever these folks are, why God can't talk to you? Why we gotta crowd up in a building that can catch on fire and burn all of us up? Tornado come through and kill all of us because we all crowded, packed up in this one building trying to get the word of God. And God can't talk to all of us. We all supposed to have that connection to God. If God is the ultimate parent, we should have our own umbilical cord. When a woman has twins, when a woman has triplets, or octuplets, or whatever you call it, octuplets, I don't know. When a woman has more than one baby in her womb, each baby has an umbilical cord. They're not on one umbilical cord. They all have their own separate attachments to the mother. So if God is the parent, if God is the mother, all of us have our own umbilical cord. I don't need you. And the umbilical cord is the mental and the nutritional tool, I guess you would call it. That attachment is where that baby gets its nourishment from. So I don't need nobody. I got my own umbilical cord. I got my own. I don't need them. So what is this obsession with us that we feel we need to get crap from other people when we should have our own connection to God? We should have our own connection to the universe. We don't share brains. We think differently. I have my own experience in my life. I don't need you. But see, this is because you're slaves. And when you become a slave, you cut yourself away from independence to dependence. And now you should be dependent on God, and you're really dependent on the slave master and whoever kicked you in your ass and made you submit. And this is voluntary or involuntary. It's even better when it becomes involuntary because you think that you're acting on your own accord. So you have all these people that believe in Jesus, all these people believe in African spirituality, and that's not you. That's stuff that somebody else gave to you. And I have to give the people who created spirituality and religion a pat on the back, because this happened during ancient times or whatever, but how it's set up took a lot of intelligence. Because I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get out of here. What Johnny Gill, my, woo. Woo. Think about it. These people, the original creators of religion and spirituality, those who created it, because it didn't come from no God. These men, it's all man-made. But they created something that would outlive them. And thousands of years after they are dead and gone, they can still enslave people. Wow. Think about that. God dang. Woo. They're dead and they're gone. And here you are in 2023, and you all Google-eyed over some damn books that your parents did not write. They came from foreign lands. The Quran comes from a foreign land. The Bible is foreign. If it was not for translation, you and I could not even read it because it was not meant for us. It's not ours. And we get angry, we get upset, and we go all out our way to convert people to a belief from dead people. Everybody in the Bible is dead. Everybody in the Quran is dead, or they never existed to begin with. We follow dead folks with out-of-date mindset. And then we put ourselves on pedestals like we smart. Ain't nobody that believe in religion and spirituality is smart to me. Ain't nothing smart about your dumb ass. You being controlled by some dead folks. What's smart about that? And none of the stuff from Bible or Quran, none of it has come true. None of it is real. Talk about wait. You've been waiting 2,000, 1,400, 2,000 years. What the hell do you mean wait and see? Do you know how many generations of people been wait and see? Because it's all lies. It's not real. And I applaud the Africans who are trying to get their people to come up out of European religion and indoctrination. How you say that? Indoctrination. Some words I can't pronounce. I applaud them. But at the same time, you must realize it's still garbage. Clearly, your African spirituality has no power. The Europeans come to Africa and beat your ass and whooped you, and you still beat up to this day. Your African spirituality didn't do a damn thing to stop nothing. Your God didn't do nothing. Your God sit back and watch you get lynched, raped, tortured. What's his name? That King Leopold, or whatever his name is, went to Africa, said that he killed an estimated over 1 million Africans. Where was your God? Where's your voodoo? Where's your spirit? Even to this day, why you got to go on the internet and beg people, you need to embrace African spirituality? Where's the power? So we here on this platform, we recognize this. We recognize this. So we're not gonna guide nobody to more foolishness, because it's been proven it has no power. All this stuff that we believe in has no power. So why would I want to gravitate to Islam? It has no power. It has not done nothing for us. It ain't protect us from bombs and lynchings. It ain't did a damn thing for us. It didn't protect Noble Jew Ali. It didn't protect Elijah Muhammad. It ain't did nothing. Nothing but a new church to go to. It didn't protect no damn body. It didn't help us none. All these things that we gravitate to have failed us, has no power. Pan-Africanism, Africa don't give a damn about Pan-Africanism. So it has no power, because they're not interested. How many of those 50-some nations on the African continent, how many of those are united together, working with each other to try to make a better Africa. The Pan-Africans don't talk about that because it's not happening. Those leaders aren't interested. They wasn't interested when Marcus Garvey was here. They're not interested because they're not the same. They don't want to integrate with other Africans. You refuse to accept the reality of these things. We're not the same. There's a difference in working together. And hell, some of us can't even do that. You can't even do that. You don't like brothers and sisters that dislike and don't agree with what the hell you talking about. You're going to talk about you. Africa is worse. And you can't do it yourself. Here I am. And I know you don't have to like everything that Angel Snubbing Up 7. That's not required. But you don't recognize nothing that Angel Snubbing Up 7. You never give me credit for nothing at all. But I'm not like you. I can say that many of the things, and I can say that so-and-so, Dr. Umar Johnson said this and he was correct, and I can say that Farrakhan said this. I can say that. But you have so much hatred for Angel Snubbing Up 7 because I'm the reality. And I'm asking you to get rid of all of it. I'm not asking you to go from European to African. I'm asking you to get rid of all that spirituality, religion stuff. There's no power in it. It's detrimental. Matter of fact, it's probably the number one thing that keeps us divided. That keeps us religion and spirituality, because when you look at it, it causes so much hatred. That's all I see. I see spirituality and religion. It causes so much division and hatred because you think that you're serving some God. My slave master is the best, because when you say God, that's what you're saying. My slave master. You got to say God. You can't specify a certain name. When our ancestors were physical slaves, they could tell you the name of their slave master. Master Charlie, Master Eddie, Master Boss, or whatever. They could tell you. You got to speak in general. You got to speak in vague terms about yours. See, when you say Allah, Allah is a title. What is this? What is this? What is the name? What is this? What is this thing? What is it? You don't like being questioned about it. Because see, Allah is a title like police officer. But see, a police officer who? What's your badge number? What's your name? Allah who? What's your badge number? What's your name? Where you come from? So you speak in vague terms. You're waiting on a Jesus that you have no idea what Jesus looked like. And you've been waiting on this Jesus for 2,000 years. So you know you ain't in your right damn mind, because you're not going to wait for a pizza. And you know what a pizza is. You know what a pizza look like. You're not going to call Domino's and wait 2,000 years for the pizza to get, especially if you paid for it already. The things that we do, our mindset, clearly we're insane. But see, this is the thing about this world, if you can get other people to believe in your insanity, then you're not insane. Which that's insane in itself. That's delusional in itself. Because what you should have is a group of crazy ass folks. In reality, that's what we have. Your crazy ass get up every Sunday and go worship and serve nothing. How the hell you gonna worship and serve? When the slave master, when you talk about worship and serve the slave master, you can actually see the slaves picking cotton, making lemonade and dinner for the slave master. You can see them at work serving and worshiping the slave master. Here you are, you go to church talking about, I worship God and I serve God. What the hell are you doing? How the hell you gonna worship and serve nothing? If you are a widow, meaning your spouse has passed, how you gonna continue to serve your husband and he's gone? I still serve my how? He's gone. You're a widow. You have to find you another boyfriend or a husband. Now you can serve. You can't serve nothing. We're so damn crazy. And when I was locked up in the mental institution, a lot of these people thought they was Jesus. They was crazy. A lot of these people already, their mind is already messed up. But then when you add religious and spiritual teachings, when their mind when they finally go for real, go nuts, that teaching makes things worse. I've seen this with my own eyes. Matter of fact, a lot of these spiritual and religion, it makes some of these people go crazy. It takes them over the line because they don't know the difference between reality and fantasy. Because all that religion and spirituality stuff is fantasy. I want to see, well, I don't wish bad on nobody, but I've never seen nobody assassinated by a voodoo doll. Have you, when they talk about assassinating somebody, I've never seen a voodoo doll as the tool of choice by an assassin. I don't think the voodoo doll was brought up when they wanted to assassinate President Kennedy or Malcolm. I don't think nobody was in the back room talking about maybe we can get one of these Africans to make a voodoo doll and assassinate the Kennedy brothers and assassinate Malcolm X. No, they chose guns and whatever. I've never heard of nobody being assassinated by a voodoo doll or nothing spiritual. The only ones who fear voodoo, the only ones who fear religious and spiritual retaliation are other believers in the stuff. And world leaders and those who are in power don't give a damn about your religion and their spirituality. And some of them might practice it, but they really don't. They don't really care. They just do it because it's passed down, it's traditional. It's something that they don't really give a damn. They know what to use. They go get the gun, the bomb, laser beams. They don't call on no God and no spiritual. They call on, can you make me a bomb? An AK-47. That's what they call on. They don't call on no God. We have been made insane. But again, the point that I really want to make in this talk, if God can come to Africans and God can come to the Asians, God can come to Indians, God can talk and communicate with everybody, why can't God communicate with Black Americans and tell us what you want? If God can't talk to us like that, then God clearly don't exist. Or God has a problem with us. And you should have a problem with God. Because why? You should ask God, why, God, can you talk to the Chinese and the Japanese, and you can talk to the Africans, and you can talk to the Europeans? How come you can't talk to us, God? I don't even believe in God. And I ask all the time. I'm going to say that again because I don't believe in God. But I ask God, make yourself known to us. Help me because I want to help the people, put us in a better place. And clearly, my prayers fall on deaf ears. Don't you want me to do better, God? Why would you want me to continue? If Angel Snuff 7 is wrong, why would you want one of your children to be on the wrong path? Because I don't want to be wrong like that. I want to be right. I want to do what's best for us. But my prayer fall on deaf ears because I know that there's no God that's listening. You talk to God and this God never replied. Never. I felt so stupid praying to God. No reply. How do you feel calling out to your parents? Or your best friend, Bubba. Bubba. And there's no answer. Now, either you figure, damn, something that happened to Bubba. Or Bubba don't exist. And some of us do that. You've seen us walk down the street talking to people like you look, who they talking to? They talking to themselves. And you laugh at people. But that's what you do every Sunday. That's what you do every Wednesday. Whenever y'all go to these houses of religions, you talk to nothing. Because it never talk back to you. Never. You answer to that raggedy preacher who claim he talk and communicate with God and know God. And all of you look so stupid in these houses of religions talking about God, and God never reply, not once. All the gods never reply. They don't say nothing. God needs an interpreter. Well, you know God said. How do you know? The preacher, the pastor, the minister is an interpreter. For nothing, for nobody. God ain't saying nothing. I ain't hear nothing. And you respond to the interpreter. You don't talk to God. So they don't like Angel Snuff 7 because they live in this world of delusions and fantasy and fiction. Talk about what God ain't gonna do a damn thing for you. Because if God gonna do something for you, you should be in a better condition. Because if I'm praying to one of you, my condition should be better if you answer my prayer. But if you don't exist, I'm not going to get nothing. I have to depend on myself. So the scriptures say, or it talks about God help those who help themselves. The scriptures talks about if you take one step, God will take two. Well, hell, if I can do all that, what I need God for? If I can help myself, what I need God for? If I can take these steps on my own, what the hell I need God for? Help, I've fallen, I can't get up. And you have that med alert bracelet on. Because you know when you fall, you can't get up. You need assistance. And you know with that bracelet on, that somebody's going to come and help you get up because you need help. So God is the meta alert bracelet. You fallen and you can't get up. Why you still laying on the damn floor? Why God not showing up for you? There are countless people more successful than anybody that believe in God. And if you notice, they don't acknowledge that. I heard Bill Gates and many of these wealthy people are atheists. Far more successful than a believer in God. And God gets no credit. They help themselves. But you never hear them talk about these people who are successful, who are doing just fine. There are many, there are thousands and millions who are doing just fine and don't acknowledge no God. I'm doing just fine. Matter of fact, I see Christians on the street begging for money. God bless you. I don't believe in God. They're asking me, who don't believe in God, for a dime. Brother, you got a dime? God bless you. What kind of sense do that make? You gonna ask somebody who don't believe in God for a dime. Then you're gonna say, God bless you. Woo, I remember I was putting fuel in my truck. And it was this gentleman. He caught me in a good mood. He asked me if I could help him or whatever. And I gave him $10. But before I could actually give him the $10, he would talk about God bless you. And I took the money back. I said, God don't get credit for this. I said, let me tell you something real quick. I'm putting fuel in this truck. I drive this truck. You know why I got this $10? Because I work. And somebody paid me for my labor. They didn't pay me for what I'm worth. They did not pay me for what I'm worth. But they paid me to drive this truck. And I got $10. I'm not going to give you $10 and give credit to some God that ain't do a damn thing. No, God didn't bless you today. Well, I didn't understand. They wanted the $10, so they quickly humbled themselves. No, I'm going to give you the $10, but I just want you to know God didn't give you nothing. I gave it to you because I work. I drive this truck. That's why you got the $10. Not because God did a damn thing. God gets no credit. When I was talking to the poo lady, the doo-doo lady, she always talk about God. I won't give you. And she stopped doing it because she wanted to help. I said, I'm not going to do nothing for you. Talk about God bless and God do this. No, God ain't did a damn thing here. So here you are talking about God this and God that. God ain't doing a damn thing for you. There's no God that have did nothing for the doo-doo lady that I've done. Everything, the reason why she's on her feet right now is because of a non-believer, not because of no damn God. This is a fact. This is facts. God ain't do a damn thing for you. And God is not going to get no credit. You can lie if you want to. God gets no credit. And even if God was real, I'm not going to bow down and serve no damn body. That's slavery. That's why the people in the Bible and Quran rebelled against God, because that's slavery. It's unnatural for you to give your life to serve somebody else, to benefit somebody else. That's unnatural behavior. That's slavery. Animals don't do it. Insects don't do it. Worms don't do it. That's unnatural behavior. You can easily do it because you only do the symbol in churches, because there's nothing there. I serve God. How? What do? You're not serving no God. Because there's nothing there. You go there and put on a show, sing and dance, hoop and holler, and take your happy ass home. Take your slave ass home. That's all you do. You don't serve nobody. It's a show. I'm not going to bow down to no God, because this is my life. You do not bow down to no people. You do not bow down to no God. That's your life. Now, if God want to bring me a glass of water, I would bring God a glass of water. But I'm not going to bow down to your ass. That's slavery. And all of you will agree, well, some will. They say slavery is bad. That's unnatural behavior. There are men who want their wife and their family to be basically be his slaves. I'm the man of the house. No, really, in reality, what he's saying is, I'm the master of the house. And the dog and the cat and the children and the wife, y'all gonna bow down to me. I'm the divine special one here. I run everything. Those type of relationships, especially, and that's why a lot of men are really full of hate of women in 2023, because that's what they want. They want to be able to go home to a wife that's a slave. That's why her work is called domestic work. Domestic or domestication or slavery. Because she's supposed to serve him and wash his nasty drawers and take care of all these children that she really probably didn't really want. What woman want to keep putting her body through childbirth like that? But she's conditioned like that. The woman has been conditioned to be a slave. You got to oh wow. I'm really talking longer than I really had intent. But I can't even imagine a woman. You are required. That's your body. That's her body. But because she's married, whenever you want to get your nasty ass on top of her, she's supposed to say, go ahead. She don't even want you like that. But it's a requirement because she's married. She got to let this person go inside her body. Oh, whoo, man. It's a requirement. As soon as she spit out a baby, her body is not even ready for sexual activity because she's trying to take care of. Here you go. Is you ready? You my wife. See, as a man, that makes men look pathetic. Take your ass, get you another job. Won't you do some of the housework? She's taking care of your baby right now. Won't you do some of the housework? You got time to get between somebody's legs. Won't you go cut the grass or do something, you pitiful ass piece? To me, that makes men look really, really pathetic. A bunch of for real losers. Really pitiful. And so now, because men are a bunch of losers and women have been conditioned to submit to trash, there's overpopulation on the earth. Because you only need a certain amount of people to actually do the labor. So you only need a certain amount of people for humanity to function, and there's too many. So, and it's because of this behavior. Where's this God at? Why God ain't putting a check on this? And you call God a he, and when you look at the Bible, Quran, both of these books are written by men, not no God. Everything in the Bible and Quran favors men. And it's inspired by men. There are female prophets that really didn't do anything. Don't really talk about the female prophets because I believe there's one, Ruth. She's one. There might be another. We don't even really. Who are the female prophets in the Bible? I really don't. I just know about Ruth. Then they talk about Mary, of course. But she's not a prophet. She's just the one that had the womb that brought in the man, Jesus. Other than that, Mary don't mean nothing. Then what's her name? The other lady, she was a prostitute. Women ain't about nothing. It's all about the men. And see, for me, I thought about that one time. I said, damn. The Honorable Minister Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad and Dr. King. I said, my whole life is surrounded by men. My music, men play the music, Prince, Michael Jackson. I said, I started feeling gay. I'm not going to lie. I took down the picture, even my own picture, off the wall. Because I started feeling gay because I'm like, that's too much men. I'm surrounded by men. Everything about me is about a man. I started feeling homosexual, gay. And these guys don't feel there's nothing wrong with it. Surround yourself and everything about you. You a man and everything about you is male. Your God is male. All your heroes is male. Like, damn, where the women in your life? And the only women in your life is one. Only thing you want to do is climb between their damn legs and want them to serve you. They don't serve no other purpose. That's gay as hell. I don't want gay. Take your gay ass on. Everything about the Bible and the Quran is gay. Maybe that's why they're so angry and upset with the gay and lesbian community, because that's what they are anyway. And this is something that we must realize and understand also. Because when your mind is conditioned to love men like that, how the hell can you really love a woman? Like Eric Muhammad said, talk black to me. If your mind is conditioned to love men like that, how the hell can you love a woman? That's why these men don't stand up for women. That's why they're angry with the women, because the women, all a woman is a sexual object. She's just something to bring my son. It's always about my son. Daughter is cool, I guess, but no, but that's my boy. That's my son. That's me, my son. Favoritism. The boy, men. And who is the number one victim of the pedophile? A boy. I want a boy. Which I'm pretty sure the girls be happy about that. I'm pretty sure they say, go ahead, be my guest. A lot of pedophiles, especially religious pedophiles, they want the boys. Because your mind been conditioned not to worship God, but to worship your own penis. Woo, how disgusting. I can't do it. So I'm looking at these men, and a lot of them talk all strong and powerful, whatever. Just because a man is married don't mean he like women. That's a fallacy. I've been married to my wife 40 years. That don't mean you like her. That don't mean you really loved her. A lot of times it only meant because she submitted to you. Serve you. She's a good house slave. That's the reason why you was married to her. Yeah, I've been married to my husband for 40, 50 years. And a lot of times they don't tell you. That's because she submitted. And she became what do they say in America? They used to tell our people in America, know your place. Woo! Know your place. And a lot of these women you might see supposed to be in happy marriages, that's because they know their place. Know your place. There's a lot of anger with these young men because that's what they want. They want them a slave. Know your place. That's why we need to make America great again. Put these Negroes back in their place. So you don't like these women when they say, I'm an independent black woman. Because you want her to believe that she can't function, she can't survive without you. What the hell she needs you for? She don't need you except to be a sperm donor, and you would be happy to be that. She don't need you. So what can you do? You don't even want to treat her as an equal. You don't want to treat her as a human being. Some kind of sex object. A slave. And see, the sad thing about it, you would think that because of how I talk, you would think women would rally around me, but they don't. Because they feel they need to be a slave. You would think that the way that I talk about religion and spirituality, you would think atheists would rally around me, but they don't. Because I show them they're not perfect either. They got problems. Nobody wants to see the reality. Nobody wants to see the truth in themselves. So they all go to their own little funky, pitiful corners. That's why if there is a God, the best thing for humanity is extinction. The best thing for humanity is extinction, because God gave you, if God exists, God gave us the greatest gift, which is our brain. And you don't know how to use it. You function on the level of lower life forms. We always talk about what humanity ain't did a damn thing. A certain group of people put us here. If you take that certain group away, we be right back hunting and foraging, if you can do that. Most of you don't know how a computer works. You use a computer every day. You don't know how it works. You drive a car. You don't know how it works. You don't know how electricity come into your house, and don't give a damn. So if you take all this knowledge away, you couldn't even replicate it. So how the hell is a human being so damn great, and the average human being cannot replicate what we have? You don't know nothing about plumbing. You don't know nothing about electricity. You don't know nothing about how a car works. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing about how your telephone works. You don't know nothing about nothing. Tell me, humanity is so smart. That's a fallacy. The average human being don't have that kind of knowledge. They copy what somebody else done and cannot even replicate it. You can't replicate it. So you can't say human being did. No, you can't replicate. Many of you can barely read and write. And it's not for everybody. All human beings cannot catch on to reading and writing. Our math skills is poor. A lot of the things or the technology that we use is based upon math. So if your math is poor, how the hell can you replicate it? You don't know nothing about science. All these people talk about science. I ask them to show this stuff in real time. It's easy to talk about it. Dr. Inky and Dr. Reggie and all these doctors or whatever. It's easy to talk to science. Show it to us in real time. Show it. They can't. You never see none of these so-called black scholars show this stuff in real time. They never. It's a bunch of talk. Sound good. Church talk. You never see them in a laboratory. I'm gonna do Dr. Umar Johnson again. You never see them in a laboratory. You never see them in a laboratory. They don't wear a smock. There's nothing doctor about them. They don't cure people of disease. They just talk. What kind of doctors are these? And you have people listening to these phonies. But that's because we're slaves. We have a slave mind. And that's the only thing religion and spirituality can do. Oh, don't talk about spirituality. Spirituality is different. The only difference between spirituality the only difference between spirituality and religion, one is organized and one is individualized. Both of them, supernatural beliefs. I'm going to fly. I'm going to come out of my body. Okay, you coming out. How is your body? Okay, you coming out your body. How does it function? Because we know how the body functions. We know that you got to drink water. You got to have a source of food. and you got to take a dump. We know how the body functions. Okay, so this spirit crap is supposed to come out your body. How does it function? What is it made out of? Because clearly it's still alive. Anything that is alive, anything that is functioning, is got to be existing on some kind of energy. Unless it's make-believe. In make-believe, because I think Superman don't even have to eat. But he's functioning. But in make-believe, you can do that. Anything in our reality, anything in the world that we know about is functioning off of something. Water, it's got to have some kind of connection to water. It has to have some kind of connection to a food source, the sun, something. So how are you functioning once you become this astral crap? How are you functioning? What is the spirit made out of? How is it living? How is it functioning? And energy does die. You could do that with a simple experiment with a match, because fire is energy, and then the fire goes out. But if energy never dies, why do a match fire go out? Why do the battery in your car go out if energy never dies? What do it do? You say just transition. Well, where do the energy transfer? Where do it go then? Do you understand what die mean? Die mean no activity, no function. So even if it still exists, if it don't function, there's no functionality, it's dead. So it do die. It don't come back alive until it's back functioning again. Well, science, I don't give a damn. Science is wrong. You need to show and explain. Show and prove, explain it better. Energy don't die. Man, I only wanted to talk. It never fails. I only wanted to talk 15 minutes. And here we done did over an hour. And I woke and I was sort of sleepy. I couldn't sleep, but I really woke myself up for real. But and I can talk loud as I want to. So the original question was, if God, and I would say this, and it's nothing spooky. It's really not spooky. But I say that God has. Because if you call me a God, well, God has spoken. Whether I like it or not, you say, well, the black man is God. Well, I'm a black man. That makes me God. Yeah, but you talking crazy. How the hell am I talking crazy? And what I'm talking comes from me. What you talking comes from some foreigners. You can't even talk their language. And when you do try to talk that language, you try to be pretty with it. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. They don't talk like that. You got to talk like that because that's not your language. And you really don't even know it. Because if you really knew it, maybe you could be what they call it, a translator or something. And people like that speak those languages, they make a lot of money being a translator. I saw a sister, and she can speak over 7 languages fluently. Not like you, Bismillah. No, she speaks Arabic like she was born over there. She speaks Arabic good and in other languages and French and Spanish. She speaks them fluently. You don't speak. These folks don't speak the language fluently. They speak it. They putting on a show. And other people that don't know the language for real, wow, that's great. I remember it. Back in the day, that was impressive to me. Brothers used to say the prayer in Arabic. That's our original. That ain't our original nothing. That's not your original nothing. That's all lies. It's all lies. And maybe we'll talk about some of that December the 7th, 2023, Soul Liberation Day. Because how can you free your mind and still continue to carry lies? Even the scriptures say, the truth shall set or make you free. And if we're not free, if we're not functioning as free people, if we're not free, and we've had these teachings for thousands of years, for a long time, and we're still not free, something is wrong. It continues to say, my people suffer from the lack of knowledge, not from the lack of belief. My people suffer from the lack of knowledge, knowing. But how can they know if they don't have a teacher? And I say, with all humility, I'm your teacher so that you can know. These others will claim to know, but they will turn around and tell you belief. I believe in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I believe in you. You cannot believe and know. If you know, there's no need for belief. So they are teachers of belief. And belief cannot set you free. So you need a teacher so that you can know. And I am a teacher so that we can know. And that knowing will set you free. I'm not the only one. But those are the teachers that you need to embrace. Those who guide you. And sometimes knowing, it hurts when we know. And when we know, it creates a responsibility. That's why I always want to give up. And I always want to stop. But I can't. Because I know. And I know that you don't know. So when you know, there's a responsibility. And that's why a lot of folks don't want to know. Because when you know, there's a responsibility to tell people so they can know, so they can be free. It's time for us to be free. And we, the black man and woman in America, and soul brothers and sisters in this nation, you deserve better. You deserve your freedom. We've been through 500 years, going on 500 years of hell. You deserve a little happiness in your life for a change. You deserve, whether right or wrong, You deserve an opportunity to do what you want to do for a change. Not what Arabs want to do or what some God want to do. You deserve an opportunity just to do whatever the hell you want to do for a change. Always serving and groveling and worshiping, idolizing other people, and you don't idolize and worship yourself for a change. What's wrong with you loving yourself? You're not loving yourself when you adopt other people's gods and religions and cultures. That's not yourself. What's wrong with what? So basically what you're saying, and I hear this all the time, y'all think the white man ice is colder than your ice. But then you run around with Arab religion and other stuff that you got from foreigners. That's not yours either. Islam don't belong to you. That's their God. All this stuff that you got from foreigners, from outside of yourself, none of it come from you. Why? Because their ice is colder than yours? The Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry represents our ice. And I'd be damned if these suckers' ice is colder than mine. They are welcome anytime to come to this platform with their ice and show that their ice is colder than mine. You see what happens to them. Their ice is not even real. They come here, get treated with respect. You can talk. I sit back in the cut and let you speak whatever you want to speak, because I don't fear a damn thing you got to say. But don't run. Keep your ass here so that you can get the whooping that you deserve. And we're going to show you that our ice is just as cold, if not colder than yours, with that foreign ass crap. Damn lies. It's outrageous lies. I'm going to call it, I got to call it for what it really is. Bull doo-doo is outright lies. And there is no solution better than this, what we present here. What we call the Mississippi Campaign, Operation Exodus Mississippi. There is none. You don't have to bring your religion and your ideology. Bring your so-called solution. Bring your ice here. And we're going to show you that Operation Exodus Mississippi Campaign is colder. It will quench your thirst. It'll put us where we need to be. We have a lot of ground to make up because we're far behind. You don't understand. We are far behind in the struggle. We need something big so that we can catch up with everybody. This little rinky-dink, individualized stuff that we got going on, it's not going to work. It's not working. These people coming across the border right now, in just a few years, it's going to surpass you, you dumbass. But you're so arrogant and selfish. Oh, well, get what's coming to you. That's all. You don't have to beg nobody. Just watch. They're going to get what's coming to them. Because sooner or later, all this is going to come to a head. The Jesus, the Allah, all these ideologies, all this stuff is going to come to a head. By that time, you probably won't be able to recover. It's too late. But before you tongue tied. But before death takes you, you're going to acknowledge that there's nobody with 10 subscribers and get 10 views. You're going to acknowledge that this nobody on point all that time, you're going to acknowledge. You're going to bow down. Because this is the real truth. This is reality. And you're not going to beat reality. Your fantasy will never override reality. Never. You have a certain period of time and you're just going to fade out. It's fading out right now as we speak. There was a time somebody like me could not talk because I would be ostracized, I would be mocked, even put to death. Times is changing. If the human being is going to continue to exist, a lot of this foolishness, this stuff that we have embraced that's out of date, no longer applicable. Matter of fact, it wasn't even applicable in ancient times, but they didn't know no better. They was ignorant and illiterate. That's another thing. People keep talking about our ancestors. Our ancestors was ignorant and illiterate. They had some technology, but when it's all said and done, they were still illiterate and ignorant. Just like you have scientists and you have people with college degrees that believe virgins have babies. I'm going to say that again. How the hell can you have a master's degree, a doctor's degree, and you run around, go to church, talk about virgins have babies, and you believe snakes talk and all this foolishness? So yeah, ancient people had a certain amount of technology, but they still was caught up in supernatural foolishness. So what? And that's why it was easy to enslave people physically, because everybody's mind was enslaved. Everything is about religion and spirituality is about enslavement of the mind. And how you going to get free? Unless you know the truth. You have to know the truth. Know the truth, not believe in the truth. You have to know the truth. How are you going to get that truth? Unless you have a teacher. The teachers have arrived. Not just me. The teachers have arrived. You're going to be free or you're going to die. Your choice. I don't care. There's a lot of people who did crack cocaine. They died from it. You can't save everybody. All stories don't have happy endings. This could be one of those stories. You're a crackhead. Can't get off the drugs. And it kill you. Either you're going to get off these drugs or it's going to kill you. Your choice. And many people have died from drugs. If God can talk to Chinese and the Asians and Africans and whoever, Europeans, God can talk to Black Americans. And I will not, never even begin to accept any God outside of us. A prophet outside of the Black woman's, a soul sister's womb. I'm not going to accept. It's not unacceptable. I'm not talking about no middleman. That get his knowledge from a foreigner. I'm talking about a Black woman, a soul sister, bring a prophet. And I would dare to say that it's already been done. Because I'm a messenger of truth. I feel as though That's the reason why I had to go through what I had to go through to break my mind away from this stuff that we've been taught. Because if that didn't happen to me, I might be a Muslim right now. Or maybe I might went back to the church. Who knows? But because of what happened to me, that experience, it was able to break my mind away from it all so I could, what's that song? I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. On that note, we're going to get out of here. And I'll probably take a nap later on because I just couldn't sleep for some reason. Probably because I was hungry. Because if I don't eat enough, I wake up like 1, 2 in the morning. I got to get enough to eat. Probably because I didn't eat enough. And also, I walked about 3 miles today too. Try to get back on my exercise program. Doing pretty well. So I guess Allah didn't answer Aleeyah Porkchop's prayers, I guess. Maybe she actually helped. The more she prayed to Allah, because Allah don't like her, you know, so just to spite her, Allah made me better, right? These folks don't want to accept responsibility. They want to put on this show pretending to be something that they're not. I know what you are. And that's where the anger comes from. Because I come out here and warn other people about some of these folks, because they're not real. They're not real. There's nobody that's going to come on YouTube going to tell you what you don't already know about Angel Snub Nub 7. I understand that I'm not perfect. I can be grumpy. I can be hard-headed, all those different things. But one thing I will do, I can apologize, and I will try to heal that which I cause harm. I will do that. And I can admit when I'm wrong. I can do that. There's nobody that's going to come out here and try to expose that I abused them, because that never happened. It never happened. I've never abused nobody. I never tried to hurt nobody in my whole entire life. I spent most of my life running from people, trying to avoid getting hurt. When I joined the Nation of Islam, I thought it was brotherhood. I thought it was sisterhood. And it could be, but just like Brother Malcolm said, the N-word corrupted everything. And see, that's another thing. A lot of these people are really sincere, beautiful people. These ideologies and these beliefs mess them up. They become hateful. Like that brother, what's his name? Astro Boo Baby. Remember? We supposed to get together and make a record or whatever. But he can't stand how I talk about spirituality. And what's the other brother? Brother 47. Don't hear from him no more because they don't like how I talk about So these things causes hatred. Because I never done nothing to nobody. I didn't kick your dog, didn't rape your mama, I didn't do anything. But they don't like to hear the reality. They don't like to hear the reality of these things. And I don't know what else I can do. I try to be nice as possible. It's nothing personal. I don't know 47. I don't know Astro Baby. I heard that he's gay. I never talked about him being gay. I don't care nothing about that. I talk about the belief. I don't know you personally. But they hate me because I expose these things exactly for what they are. And no matter how you believe, I don't care how sincere you are, you can't make the belief more than what it is because it's not real. I don't care how sincere or how you want to flip-flop it around, you cannot make that real. You can't make it real. That's not Angel Snub 7 fault. You don't see nobody making no videos, no matter how angry they get at Angel Snub 7, you don't see them making no videos exposing how wrong Angel Snub 7 is. Where are they? They try to attack me personally as a person who they don't know. But as far as what I bring to this platform, you never see them make videos. In my whole 2007, since I've been on YouTube, they try to attack me personally, but you never see them actually trying to debunk and refute what Angel Snub 7 bring to this platform. You don't see them do that. Why? Because it's the truth. That's why. And what they have is belief and fantasy and fiction. It's not real. And that cannot stand up to the real truth of which I represent. And you can attack me personally and you still look stupid because you really don't know me. And even if it don't make no difference if I was a bum living in a tent, it still does not negate the truth that I'm bringing. So you can call me a bum. Y'all gonna listen to that bum in a tent? This bum in the tent is kicking your ass. The bum in the tent. Because the bum in the tent has the truth. I accept the reality that I am a bum in a tent by choice. I accept that reality. That's the reality. What about you? If God can come to all these others, why God can't come to us? You doing yourself a disservice by rejecting this message. The least you can do is give it a sincere listen. The least you can do. The least you can do. Don't hate me because I ain't done a damn thing to you. But just like you have a mission or you feel as though you need to spread your belief to others, then I should have the right to challenge those beliefs. When you shut up trying to, then you can ask me to shut up. But you have a need to convert people to your beliefs. I have a need to challenge that. Because see, that garbage messed me up. Yeah, I have a vendetta against it. Because it messed my life up. had me believing in lies, hoping in bull crap that never happen. And it's still not happened to this day. You told me a lie. You told me these lies almost at birth. None of it. And I'm an old man now, or middle-aged, however you want to call it. And it still haven't happened. Y'all damn liars. And these preachers still teaching that garbage. What I notice, a lot of these young people, they may embrace it, but they really don't care about it like that no more. It's coming to an end. The Catholic Church, nobody wants to be a priest. Nobody wants to be a nun no more like they used to. Nobody really wants to continue these religions and these faiths like they used to. All the old heads that was fanatics, most of them are dead or dying. It's coming to an end. It's got to. Because it's not real. It's time for humanity to wake up out of the damn dream. The dream that turned into a nightmare. Passing on these beliefs from illiterate, ignorant, ancient people who rebelled against it. In the Bible and Quran, they rebelled against it. There's a reason. Slave teachings. Why you think slavery was so acceptable all over the earth? So on that note, we're going to get out of here. I don't know what time it is. If anybody wanted to have any kind of questions or comments before we get out of here, I'll be able to do that. I'm still looking forward to that video, Deacon of Reality, Soul Brother 85. Matter of fact, it's two. I think you can probably combine those videos with that sister, because she made two good points. And you could probably make a good video out of that. I like those points that she made. You can make a good little video out of that. Also, I haven't received no complaints when we talked about bringing Black Son and MD to Soul Liberation Day. I haven't received any complaints, so I guess we're going to be doing that. And I'm looking forward to Soul Liberation Day. I want to try to bring it a little bit differently. And I don't know what the brother's going to say, but I'm pretty sure they're going to say something in relation to what we represent on that day, Soul Liberation Day. And perhaps I might join some of their conversations and live streams. We'll see. We'll see as time goes on. They say that I'm told that time heals. Some people don't want to heal. They're very hateful, nasty. And it comes because of religion and these ideologies. It's not really about what somebody done to somebody. These religions and these ideologies, because I know I was a very hateful person. When my mind was under these religions, it makes you vengeful. And when you become, it makes you emotional. And the thing about when you become emotional, emotions causes us not to think in the best manner. That's why I got locked up. That's why I got locked up, because I was emotional and wasn't thinking properly. And It cost me 10 years of my life. Some people, it costs you your life. They're no longer here. The reason why we can't have what we call black unity is because of emotion. All these folks are emotion. The reason why black men and women on social media going back and forth, because of emotion. Because we don't know how to express our hurt and our pain in a civil manner. We only emotional. Screaming and hollering and lashing out. Because we're children. That's how children behave. Children don't know how to control their emotions. Children are immature. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing said the same thing. And they really don't talk about Dr. Francis Cress Welsing that much. But one thing they don't talk about, and she made it very clear, one of the problems with so-called African Americans is we have a childish behavior. We have a childish mindset. We're children at heart. What do you expect from somebody who was under 300 years of slavery with no responsibility? It's like living forever at your mom and daddy house. They pay the bills. They do everything. Everything mama and daddy do. And we've never been in a position where we control or do anything like that. We've always had our mommy and daddy, which is the white man. And the pro-blacks, your mommy and daddy is the white man. You can't function without them. Take the white man out of the equation, you don't have nothing. Except your big ass mouth. And you see all that knowledge and scholarship that Brother Polite got. What did it do for him? He's sitting his pedophile ass in prison. With all his scholarship. Just like me. I was laying around, locked up. With all my scholarship. All praises due to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The black man is God. All that garbage didn't help me at all. Locked up. None of it. It made me look crazier. It made me look insane. That's what it done. It made my situation worse. If you don't get your act together, and see, young people, I advise you, these elders aren't for you. Many of these elders are getting ready to die. Many of these elders are out of their damn mind. They want you to take the same path that they took, and you need to look at the path that they took, a road to nowhere. It's been 50, I'm still talking. It's been 50 years. Let me see, 1960. It's been over 50 years since the death of Dr. King. And what kind of progress have we as a people done? We've made no, and you should feel shame. We should be embarrassed. I really like, well, I always found her attractive anyway. I always liked Dr. King's daughter. Damn, I don't forgot her name. Her name, Bernice. I get her name and Bernadette Stanton's name mixed up. Bernice King and the King family. But I believe that Bernice is probably the most, after her mother passed, Bernice is probably more active than the rest of the family is now. And we're the same age. So we have the family of Dr. King. We have the family of Medgar Evers. We have the family of Malcolm X. We have their children. You cannot expect the children to be like their parents. That's not fair. The children of Elijah Muhammad, you should not expect them to be like their parents or relatives. But we as a people have made no progress since the passing of Dr. King. And I see Sister Bernice, she really don't know what to do. She's trying to, emulate, copy her father. And all these other people, they try to emulate Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad and Noble Drew Ali, which is a mistake because you're not them. And their time is gone. This is what we don't understand. Their time is gone. Sister Bernice, your father, wonderful man, a brave man. I admire him so much. That was his time. This is your time. And your time requires something different. Because had he lived, and even during his lifetime, you could see that he was changing. The Martin Luther King of the 1950s wasn't the same as the one in 1968. Oh, wow. I'm still talking. But we need to hear this. We need to hear this. Because you don't believe me. But Dr. King, that's a perfect example. If you look at the Dr. King in the 1950s, he was a different man by the time we got to 1968. He was looking at things differently. And this is what happens when you are alive. When you're dead, things don't change. Well, actually, they do because you decompose. See, even when you're dead, you change. Nothing stays the same. For some reason, in the black conscious so-called community, all this blackity black, they don't want to change. They stayed the same. Nothing can change. Nothing stays the same. What you was at 7 years old, you're not at 23. You change. When you was 7 years old, you probably wanted to be a basketball player. Now you're 23, you change your mind and now you want to be a rocket scientist. Things change. The black conscious community keep talking about our ancestors and they want to talk return and go back to the past. Things change. You can't go back to the past. You can even dress up in the movies. They dress up like the 1940s. They dress up like the caveman era or whatever. They dress up like it's 1950. They dress up like it's 1920. That's not real. And if you saw somebody driving a car from 1940, dressed up like 1940, going down, you will look at them like, what's up with that? That don't fit. What are they doing? But that's what the black conscious community want us to do. And not only, what's really insane about it, not only that, they want us to live a life we never lived. Because they're trying to represent foreign lands. We never lived in Africa. We never lived there. And here we are talking all this African stuff. But if we went in our neighborhood right now dressed up in African clothes, the people would look at you, what's up with that? It don't fit in America. This is America. Whether you like it or not, we are Americans. And it's all that we know. And you can dress up and pretend to be whatever you want to. Those Pan-Africans, you are American. There's no doubt about it. And you live your life as an American. You don't know nothing about no damn Africa. There's nothing wrong with adopting some of the customs, the food or whatever, but that's not who you are. I can dress up in a karate gi or Asian clothes. I'm not Asian. I know this. Look, this is a good example. Look how awkward. I see some of these videos where some of these Asians are trying to be rappers. Or you see some of these Caucasians, trying to emulate Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre. They out of place. It don't even look right. Because that's not who they are. That's not them. And the thing about the white teenagers doing it, I mean, it's American culture, but it's not them. It's not their people. It's not them. Even though it's American culture, because we made that what it is. Just like it's more acceptable. I don't know the real origins of this, but it's more acceptable to see an Italian person messing around with spaghetti than an African person. Because spaghetti is affiliated, with Italians. And the African might make the spaghetti better than the Italian. But the African don't look right because we know that the spaghetti, that's not his culture. That's probably why we would probably buy Mexican food from people who are actual Mexicans rather than some kind of Americanized stuff. Because we know that Mexican food, that's their cuisine. That's them. We know that wasn't developed in America, European. We know that. But in the black conscious, blackity black, whatever, I'm blackity black, they are asking us, to go back into a past we never lived, and we don't change. The Reality Tip on Earth Internet Ministry is change. It's very hurtful. It's extreme change. That's why so many people can't get with us. It's extreme change. It's like quitting cold turkey. If you've been smoking for the last 40 years and you quit cold turkey, everybody can't quit cold turkey. I'm not asking, because I know that you can't be me. You can't be us here. But if you want to be successful, you need to put on a damn patch. Otherwise, you gone, you done. You don't have to quit cold turkey. I was able to quit cold turkey because I never was, just like Black Son said in that video, I've always been a natural born free thinker. I've never been loyal to no train of thought. I've always been open-minded. I always question things. Always been that way. You can't handle the truth like that. So rejecting this platform, rejecting this knowledge, you're doing yourself a disservice. I would suggest to you to put on that nicotine patch and let it little by little. Because see, I know there's a lot of things that you're not ready for, but at the same time, Angel Snubbing Up Sevens do present things that you can agree with. So start there. And you will see in a little while, you'll see that Angel Snubbing Up 7 is not as bad. You'll get over your nicotine withdrawal. Get some of this methadone. The road that you're going down right now, and you can get angry at Angel Snubbing Up 7 all you want to, but it's quite obvious. It's a road to nowhere. If I thought it would help us, if I thought it would take us somewhere, I would never have gotten off the road. All this feel-good talk, that don't help nobody. And that's all you get out of it. And that's the reason why you can make more videos than you can't really accomplish anything, because that's all it is. Feel good, stump your hands, clap your hands, stump your feet rhetoric. It can't produce nothing. It has not produced nothing. I know, at least since Dr. King has been gone. And we should feel embarrassed and we should feel ashamed, because we are in a better position than Dr. King. We are more educated. We have more money. We're supposed to be more smarter, but clearly that's not the case. And for me, it's really embarrassing. So the only thing you're going to do is talk about, or we need more time. You just wasted 50 damn years. How much time do you need? So since you need all this time, tell us how much time that you need. Another 50 years? Well, you know that one brother, he was on the platform, he told us we might need another 50 years. Well, at least he's being honest. Which y'all need 1,000 years? But see, nobody in their right mind is going to wait and wait and wait. Not going to do that. That's not natural. You're not going to wait for nobody. You're not going to wait. You're only going to wait within a reasonable amount of time. If you're waiting on a pizza, it's late, you might wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 or whatever. But pretty soon, you're going to start getting angry. Like, damn, what's up? There's nothing wrong with putting a time on anything. When you build a house, you write out a contract, and the person that's building the house give you a time when this house needs to be built. Even a dog house. When is it going to be done? When is it going to be done? You get a doctor's appointment. Everything's on a time. But when it comes to the Black conscious community, there's no time. We don't know. Things take time. Nobody want to hear that crap. So we present the Mississippi campaign. I'm going to give you the time. I'm going to give you the timeline as we go along. I'm going to let you know the time. have you waiting. Or I would tell you we're out of time. We're done. Time for your ass whooping. I'm going to tell you the time. Keep waiting how long? Jesus coming. You already been waiting for Jesus for 2,000 years. The mother plane. You've been waiting on the mother plane for 100 years. The time. When it comes? Jesus is coming. Come on, we need to stop this. You're supposed to be an adult. How can you be an adult behaving like this? Because there's no adult. This is not acceptable by an adult. And in your real life, you don't accept it. In your real life, you don't accept it in your real life. You know what time your bills come. On the 11th, on the 16th, at the end of the month. You know when you get your paycheck. You know about the time. You know when it's time to put gas in your car. It's all the time. But when it comes to these beliefs, it is what it is. It'll happen. That's not acceptable. In your real life, it's not acceptable. So why in your spiritual life it's acceptable? You're going to wait, keep waiting on and on and on and on. Your children don't stay children. That puppy that you got don't stay a puppy. The puppy slowly turn into a dog. Your children go from grade school to high school to college. Things change. Things keep moving in real life. But in your belief, we still babies. We still the children instead of the adults of God. You will not be successful until you get with the time, till you become an adult. Stop being a child. Stop being so emotional and silly. Grow up. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. And I want to thank you so much for joining us this early morning. And our main channel is back online again. I wonder how long we're gonna be back online before I might have to take her back down again. That's sad. That's really sad. I'm the only one that got to do that. But it's because of the truth, the real truth that we bring. And that's the price that we have to pay. But as long as there's YouTube and YouTube is free, I just have to keep making channels, I guess. That's what we're going to do. Shout out to Instagram. Shout out to our Facebook. Thank you so much. And I got a special guest coming. I hope that they show up. We'll see. I don't even want to talk about them. I just when they show up, you'll see them. I don't want to burn no bridges. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your support. Again, I'm looking forward to our main video live stream, Soul Liberation Day, December the 7th, 2023, 2:30 p.m. Looking forward to that. Our topic is free your mind and the rest will follow. Until then, Enjoy your day. Good morning. And I'm Angel Snub Number 7. As our ancestor, Don Cornelius, used to always say, in parting, I wish us love, peace, and so. And we are Audi 5000.